Well, I think there's a number of things that we'd like to see come out of this rally. Obviously, the first and most important thing is that we have the Board of Trustees take a look at the proposals that we've asked them to do and suggest to them that this is something that they need to take a look at and judge each proposal on its merit. And we would hope that out of this rally would come a definite indication that students, first of all, support their Student Senate, and secondly, are interested in these reforms, and that the board will be moved and motivated by this demonstration of student support to pass at least a portion of these proposals, and hopefully all of them. I think the second thing that we would like to see come out of this is a recognition on the part of the faculty and the staff, members of the University Senate, that students are not second-class citizens, that we don't play games on Thursday afternoons in Student Senate, that we deserve to have a representation in the university governance, and that there is a critical, definite need for swift university reform as far as campus governance is concerned. Now, I think it's been recognized on the part of a lot of faculty and most students that there's a need for reform in this area, but the question as to whether when it'll come and what shape it'll take when it comes is another problem entirely. And I students at Ball State University have for several years demanded from their student government an attitude of responsibility and professionalism. Students of Ball State University have no less right to expect the same attitude from the University Senate and its constituent councils and committees. While we recognize the inherent slowness of a democratic system, it is our contention that the fine line between necessary scrutiny and needless delay of proposals has been long passed in dealing with proposals referred to them in good faith by the Student Senate. While we recognize and appreciate the problems inherent in the present campus governance and support all responsible moves for reform, be they student or faculty initiated, the mistakes and injustices of the past cannot be rectified by promises of a glorious future. Likewise, the hasty measures taken in the last University Senate meeting were far too little to forestall our request to the Board of Trustees. The resolution passed by the Student Senate on April 17, 1969, and the rally called for Tuesday, April the 22nd, both are designed to demonstrate to the Ball State Board of Trustees the dissatisfaction and frustration that is felt by the students and the Student Senate at the inadequacy of the present system and the slowness of needed reforms. We at this time call on the Board of Trustees of Ball State University to critically examine these 9 proposals on the basis of their merit and render a judgment on them based not on the priorities of university governance, but on the qualities or lack thereof of the specific proposals. This move is not intended to become standard procedure for student-sponsored proposals, nor is it intended in any way to intimidate or reflect on the personal qualities of any of the principals involved. There are several things which should be clearly understood at this time. First, the Board of Trustees clearly has the power to enact these proposals with or without University Senate approval. Failure to act indicates that the Board has bowed to the wishes of a body which has proved itself in times past inefficient and awkward. Secondly, and most important, these proposals are not simply a list of demands. Each of these has been carefully researched and studied, not merely by students, but by concerned groups of faculty and staff. They are proposals which are well documented in terms of logic and feasibility, and further research on many would be a needless delay. In regards to campus security, in regards to controlling the crowd, in regards to the general purpose, in regards to what we are attempting to accomplish, I found all of these people to be not to be blowing their cool, to be very calm about the matter. I think they've reflected, generally speaking, very much of a confidence in the ability of the student to be able to conduct himself in a responsible manner. I think on the other hand, obviously they're not particularly excited that we're going to the Board of Trustees and bypassing the University Senate. Obviously they would rather that we didn't. But I haven't seen, except on one or two cases, any overreaction, any great excitement, any hysterical statements or anything like this. I think that, in general, most of these people recognize the problems, and I've seen, from talking to all of these people, any and all of them, Dick, I've seen in no case any attempt, really, at a defense of the University Senate, other than some things that you could be thrown in, such as the fact that they're attempting to restructure their government, and that this fall the council and committee system will reorganize, and that for this reason they began very slowly. But these are, they pointed out, these are merely excuses. So I haven't seen any real attempt at defense. They've simply said, give us a chance to, to work, and I've simply said, we've given you a chance. We'd like to see some action.
You say they warned you.
So this is like sort of like a play opening on Broadway. We don't know what we'll get. We would count a little bit on the meteorologist hope in this case. If we get good weather, I'm hopeful that we'll get over 1,500 people, possibly in the neighborhood of 3,000. If we get especially good following from the dorm, which the rally, the place of the rally is right in the middle of, we could approach 4,000. As far as the percentage that of the whole student body, that would be the percentage of 15,000. But there's a limit in communications because Ball State is approaching in some areas to be a commuter college. We have a great deal of students off campus, and it's hard to communicate with them within 4 days, especially when those days, 2 of those days are weekends. So I would say if we have to put a rough estimate, I'm going to put a conservative estimate at 1,500, 12 to 1,500.